No, I'm not on medication. I'm on weed though, and I feel hella good.
Please stand by.
Take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. Take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland.
Ooh, Wonderland.
Please stand by. Please stand by. Please stand by.
Hello, boys! I'm back!
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you can hear me. I'm still trying to figure out this thing, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. I think the devil's getting the hang of it. So, yeah, the last show was interesting and it was a lot. And that, the guy who was showing off the tunnels in the subway, I'm telling you, that shirt, the pineapple Dole pineapple shirt just sent me down a rabbit hole. It just sent me down a whole rabbit hole and connected Lana Del Rey's song, and it connected the boyfriend, Justin Murdoch, and then I started looking into the Murdochs, and oh boy, I found some stuff, and it's like, I found some things that just look weird, okay? And it connects to the fires. I know. Like, everybody is coming up with a conspiracy. I know I'm not supposed to say that on YouTube because YouTube used to not like that when Susan Wojcicki was around, which RIP Susan. People don't realize how much Susan tried to do for Google and YouTube. And it was really their like investors and some of the people on their board that was really messing up YouTube. But that's another story, right? So back to the Murdochs. So the Murdochs, well, the father, David H. Murdoch, which you probably saw him in my thumbnail eating the apple. Mr. Murdoch is 101 years old, and he is very into longevity. He loves eating plant-based. He doesn't eat meat, apparently. He eats plant-based. He eats only fish. So he eats only fish and fruits and vegetables, and that's it. And his son apparently is a degenerate that likes to be towards women, right? Since we saw that. Let me pull that up. Where's that article? Oh my goodness. So there's him with Lana in 2012. Wow. And there's Avril. Remember, she had a problem for a while too, and then him. So they were hanging out and going to this place called the Chateau Marmont. We're going to look into that eventually, thanks to this rabbit hole. But so his family is big into real estate. So they not only own the Dole Pineapple Company, but they also own a company called Castle and Cook that owns a lot of real estate in Hawaii. And one of the things that Castle and Cook does is build tract homes. Raw. Yeah. So, one of the things I wanted to look at, the other thing, I was telling you that this David H. Murdoch, he's very into longevity. And I thought it would be a good thing to look into his like longevity stuff, since it is weird. A lot of these billionaires are into these weird longevity things because immortality is one of those things you can't buy. And they do a lot of weird things to achieve that immortality. And I don't know. This guy's just like really into living a long time. And I found it interesting where he has his longevity center. Where is my tabs at? Where are my tabs at? Let's see. Oh, we'll do this one first. Okay. I think, I don't know. We'll check this one out first. So his research facility is in North Carolina. Isn't that interesting, right? It's in North Carolina. Yeah. Okay. So let's look into this. They're into a lot of research and stuff. I really haven't watched this video. I have a few, so we can just kind of go through some of them and see what's up. Hopefully I don't get dinged. That's creepy music. Well, that's not creepy, man. Not at all. Wow, that's a nice building. All brick. It's the largest painted dome. Dude, your music better not ding me, man. I'm gonna close that. Wow, that's nice. Isn't that nice? I'm sure somebody will start talking. Oh, is she talking? No. I don't want you to ding me. Wow, so this is them building this dome for Murdoch. The Murdoch Dome at North Carolina Research Campus. Yeah, he donates a lot of money there. So this is just the dome, I guess. Let's see. Oh, here she is talking about the dome. The special dome they're building. They love doing weird shit like this, billionaires. They love building weird shit, like a monument to them and all that. It's really weird, right? Oh, yeah, of course. He's obsessed with fruits. Let me find another one of his videos. I was watching some of these videos. Let's pop this up. Let's see. Yeah. I got a whole playlist. Oh my gosh. There's him talking. Which one was the best one that I liked? Yeah, there's them talking about their houses. They have a mortgage company. When people build houses, they get a mortgage on it. Wink, wink, nod, nod. All the people in the Palisades are going to be rebuilding houses. They're going to need mortgages. Someone's going to have to build their houses. Yeah. North Carolina. Hawaii. You getting at what I'm getting at? Mm-hmm. Oh, we saw this one. Let's see. Whoa, man.
Imagine no limits. One of the richest men in the world
Let's watch this one.
had the creative vision to see a former textile mill as a world-class biological research center.
What?
A showplace.
A what?
Housing research into longevity.
Longevity?
And an end
like
to
eugenics?
disease. Billionaire David Murdoch had the creative vision.
His son dated Lana Del Rey.
Reasonably financially successful. And a lot of people leave behind and give to different places their money.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, why in the hell don't I spend some of my
you
own
love his red
money
tie?
for creating something good for mankind?
Good for Mankind is a nutrition think tank with researchers from private companies, including Murdoch's own.
Well, of course he's going to fund research studies to then sell his produce and stuff. Doesn't that make sense? Like, a lot of companies, like I was telling you, they will fund studies so that they can prove a point, you know, that like, hey man, like, you should buy our stuff because it's like healthy for you. Kind of like those studies that come out about coffee or dark chocolate every couple of years, you know, especially coffee. I mean, yeah, it's, Let's continue.
Dole Foods. And 8 universities so far.
Whoa.
We know it kills MRSA.
Researcher Slavko Komarnitsky of NC State University
What kills MRSA?
might have found a native North Carolina plant that can treat MRSA,
That's
the
cool, man.
antibiotic-resistant bacteria. He is also working on a cure for diabetes.
Here's the other thing. Remember while we're looking at all this research, Justin Murdoch runs a pharmaceutical company. So all this lovely research his family does in this, you know, where they're finding out how this does resistance, well, then his company probably takes the research and then finds out a way to synthesize whatever this is and then make it into a pill and sell it to you. Facts.
Murdoch emphatically believes food and diet are the secret to longevity.
I bet he
and the
does.
cause
What else
of
does he believe in?
disease.
Success is a habit. Most people have bad habits. 20%, I think, of the people in the United States smoke cigarettes even though they know they're going to kill them. We can.
Well, you know what, man? It's easy to have bad habits. I tried to fix that bloop thing. I don't know why it's doing it. I'm going to have to ask Patrick to help me with it. But anyways, every time it bloops, take a hit of something, take a sip of something. Make it positive. We're going to work through it. So, yeah, man, it's pretty easy to, you know, work on your bad habits and fix them when you have billions of dollars, man. Billions of dollars with a B. Dude has billions of dollars. Like, it's easy for him to go and get fresh veggies every day. It's easy for him to go fishing in his private pond on his private property. He can do that because he builds track homes, guys. Because he sells pineapples. Because he builds track homes in Hawaii. He builds track homes in California. He built track homes in San Bernardino County. It's called Highgate. It's in an area called Seven Oaks. This housing tract was built in 2017, I believe I saw it opened. Well, the fire was in 2009. I don't know how close it was to this area or what, but because I couldn't really find anything online, but It's really weird, right? Right. He also owns a helicopter, like an aviation company too, that does like helicopters and all kinds of aviation stuff, like in California and in Hawaii, which I tried looking up stuff on that company, that the flight company for, Kobe. And when you try to look up who owned that aviation company, you really can't find who owns that. You could just find the CEO who was running for an office in some state a few years ago, but you really can't find anything about who was invested in it, who owned it. It just says, yeah, Island Adventures owned Island Adventures, because I thought, well, maybe he's got a lot of shell companies. And that's how they get away with a lot of this. They compartmentalize all their companies. Let's continue.
Control our own lives, but most people don't know how. Everybody learns how to get themselves dressed whatever way they happen to like it.
What the Excuse me? So this man believes that we just, because we're poor and we have bad habits, we just don't know how to take care of ourselves? Like we barely know how to dress ourselves, man. We should be listening to him and how we should live, because he's 101 and a billionaire. Dude, just because you were poor once and made it rich doesn't mean like everybody has the same privileges you did to do that, man. Wow.
Because they know they got to cover themselves up, but when it comes to eating, they put anything in their stomach.
Wow.
The mural
wow,
in
man,
pays homage to Murdoch's diet. He eats no saturated fat, red meat, or dairy.
Well, good for him.
Up on fruits, vegetables, protein.
I think he used to own, when I was looking into him, where is it? Let me see. I was looking into his companies before. I think there is a video about his history. And I thought he owned like a beef factory or something for a while.
And there was a time when he was hungry.
Really?
I worked from 14 till I was 18 when I went into the Army. And I was sleeping under a bush in the park, and I got chased twice by the police. So we don't allow.
So you should be sympathetic to people,
and I went 5 days
and empathetic to what they're going through right now, right?
Sleeping under a bush
like
in the
people
park.
who are homeless from fires.
I was 22. I was a multimillionaire when I was 25, 3 years later.
Wow.
Looking at the Grand Regency
how'd you do that, man?
It's easy to believe Murdoch's first fortune came from residential and commercial development.
Real estate.
Well, I think we are motivated by our surroundings, aren't we? Knowledge is power.
Wow.
Shakespeare said, get the knowledge.
Knowledge at the North Carolina Research Campus for years to come.
But it's your knowledge that's
pure
funded.
Result of David Murdoch's vision.
Wow. Okay, so that's him. He's a real estate person. South Carolina. Or North Carolina. Oh boy. So where's the... Let's see. They own a bunch of property in LA too, but it's hard to find out what property they actually own in LA. Bloop. Oh, that's annoying, isn't it? Go to the bottom of my playlist here. Let's see. Let's see what other tabs I have up. Where's that his fucking thing? There's Castle. This is the history of the corporation that him and his son work in, that does all the real estate and stuff. So they got real estate here in LA, in the LA area, in California. They got it in Hawaii and North Carolina, and probably other places as well. But those were the notable ones that I noticed.
Castle & Cook Mortgage is proud of its great heritage.
It is.
In 1837, Samuel Castle and Amos Cook landed in Hawaii to begin their lives as lay missionaries.
Cool.
Castle's assignment was to manage the mission depository or mercantile. Cook was to teach the children of the royal families. 14 years later, the church board released them from their mission and they began private management of the store, selling to the community at large as well as the mission posts. On June 2nd,
so basically colonizing Hawaii and stealing from the natives there. Got it.
1851, they hung a sign at the entrance that said, Kekelemi Kuki, Castle and Cook, and the partnership was born.
Yeah, sure.
Over the years, the mercantile business diversified into sugar production and shipping. In the 1920s, the company built the $2 million Royal Hawaiian Hotel to accommodate the many travelers.
He owns the Murdochs. They own the resort too. They own resorts. They build resorts too. So they own a bunch of resorts. Interesting, right? Resorts, hotels, right? Usually, sometimes you have to take cars and you get stuck in traffic on the way to those hotels. Get it, good. So yeah, that's one of the other things that's in their real estate portfolio.
Attending the company's bright future in tourism. Castle and Cook had grown into an agricultural power in the
Pineapples.
islands, and in 1931 purchased part of Hawaiian Pineapple Company, later to become Dole Pineapple, to further expand and diversify. In the 1950s, the company began real estate development in earnest.
See that? That's a track house. So they manufacture so they can spit these out real fast. No one's really started to rebuild in Lahaina, which he builds mostly on one of the other islands. He's not on the island, the Maui island, where he was building. He's on another island, but they were doing a lot of like bringing resources and stuff, Castle and Cook, to help out. I honestly would not be surprised if this company might come in and build houses, because they've already have houses for sale on another island. So this is something to watch. It shows where there's some people that have rebuilt, but it seems like they're all doing it on their own. I have a sneaking suspicion that they're going to come in and they're going to offer people that we're going to come in and do like track houses where these fires have been, and just boop, 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 and everybody will get a track house spit out who stays behind. And one company is going to come in to do it. And it'll be like a track house development, but on land that's scar burned. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm getting at? There's some funky things going on, right?
Moved into both residential and commercial properties.
They do commercial properties too. So that was the other thing. I was trying to find out what they actually, because they have offices in LA. I was trying to figure out where their offices were. I was trying to figure out where their properties that they own were. And because they do a lot of real estate and stuff, we're going to also still talk about downtown LA, because there's some funky things going on in downtown LA. And we need to talk about it.
Over the years, Castle and Cook has ventured into real estate development, mortgage lending, hotel and resort development and management, while expanding its holdings in agricultural property and food production. Today, under the direction of David H. Murdoch, Castle and Cook and Dole Food Company are global forces in agriculture, real estate development, and business activities that support them. Castle and Cook Mortgage is a proud member of the family of Castle and Cook companies.
So I don't fit in. That's hell. It's hell when you can't be around your peers. All my life.
Yes, it is. It is hell to be not around your peers. We'll listen to that later for inspo. I put that on this list for inspo. He inspires me so much. Just a side note about Pac. He might be gone, but he is not gone. He still speaks to us. If you know, you know. Anyway, so let's look some more. So yeah, that's really interesting, the whole houses and whatnot, and this dude. And let's see. I'm going to move this back over. I pulled up some stuff. So here we got Lana and the ex. There's the Mermart. Let's see. So yeah, I've been digging into that. That was something, a thread of things I went down, was looking at Murdoch and some of the things that he's doing. A lot of these, and I don't want to use the word elite because I'm going to explain a little something to you. A lot of these billionaires and rich people who are, you know, these people who pull the strings behind the scenes, like this Murdoch fella, they will come up with terms that are derogatory about another group of billionaires, and then like it'll catch on and we will repeat it and we don't know we're actually being derogatory. So like elite was actually a term created by one billionaire group to shade the Jewish billionaires. And that's why this, you know, when people say the word elite, this anti-Semitism comes in. Well, there's a group that does not, a lot of it too, a lot of these billionaires, and we're going to get into that as well. I keep saying we're going to get into this. It's a lot, and I'm like coming up with playlists, but it goes back to their beliefs and what they believe in a lot of the times, and I'm trying to get my tabs all together, you know, and what they believe in. And a lot of them, you know, it's like it's normal beliefs, and then some of them it's, you know, you go to your, as far as your Scientology, you go as far as like these twisted ways of looking at Catholicism. There it is. So, oh, this talks about the biotech. So, yeah. Yeah, it goes back to a lot of these weird beliefs that they have. And like I said, none of it is real, but, you know, there's people that believe this is real. So yeah, this talks a little bit about them. And their family, and that they were really into looking into, they have these big claims that they're going to, eradicate cancer. I don't know. I just had a family member who passed away from lung cancer. So like that, you guys are failing on that front. Yeah. So yeah. You can see here around 2006 was when they started doing these drug trials. They're also responsible for semaglutide. The reason why they were so into doing this cancer research, and down here, Murdoch's wife, his first wife, she died of cancer. And there's even a video where Murdoch was talking about how like it was like the one thing that frustrated him was that he thought he could just get rid of his wife's cancer, and it just didn't work out that way. He's since remarried. So, yeah, it shows here where Justin, his son, put $35 million into the company. So he was working on all this stuff and doing all this stuff and, you know, dating Lana. So, yeah, that's interesting. So I'm going to close out that tab so I don't get confused. I love the Lana analysis of a song. Yeah, that's funny. Let's see. So, I thought we could look into a little bit more in downtown LA. I just wanted to go over the Murdochs a little bit, not, you know, the guy who's in prison for murdering his family, but, you know, the billionaires. And just touch on that and just, you know, kind of put a pin in it. So, one thing before we go over to downtown LA is that we remember this actorbaun thing, and we can watch this video here about the actorbaun.
Environment.
No. There we go. Pause. There we go. So we're going to watch this little short here on the actorbaun. Hopefully I don't get dinged. And then I'm going to show you how this probably is true. So, let's roll it.
I cannot wait to film this. I just heard some stuff.
I can't wait to hear this, man.
But it's confirmation. I don't know how crazy it is. To me, it's pretty crazy that someone actually came out and said it. But anyway, we all know about Diddy. Hottest topic right now.
Yeah, probably true.
It's the topic, right? And everyone would say that has been, associated with Diddy. Oh, people have been snuck in, and you sneak out. They have you in these tunnels and stuff like that. You're
right.
Like, that sounds far-fetched.
No, it doesn't
all these
actually.
Houses in Hollywood, the tunnels connect to each person's house and stuff like that.
It doesn't sound crazy.
Sounds crazy.
It doesn't sound crazy.
Well, there's a guy that has been interviewed recently. Used to work at a Starbucks. Now you say, what's Starbucks got to do with anything, right? Well, this Starbucks is not just any Starbucks. It's a
That's just funny how it's like, oh, there's these secret, these millionaires and these actors and all these people, and they got these tunnels, man, and they're hiding all this stuff, and Starbucks enters the chat. Like, what?
Starbucks that's exclusive. So exclusive, in fact.
So exclusive.
You have to sign an
I
NDA,
believe this.
non-disclosure agreement, to work there. Well, his NDA has recently expired, so he's able to talk about things.
I wonder
and
how
what
long
he
it
talked
was.
about were the secret tunnels that are in Hollywood. You heard me right. Like a super highway, and I'm not joking when I say that.
We're going to talk about this
That only the
comedian, too, in his background a
1%,
little
the
bit.
super elite have access to. So if you have super success in Hollywood, I would assume the music industry, the different industries, you have access to these tunnels. You don't drive like regular people, according to this guy. These are super highways that are exclusive strictly for this 1%. It's called the...
That's crazy, right? To think about this. But I can see how this is true. We've seen Elon Musk's tunnels. Maybe I'll find that video. But we've seen those.
actorbaun. That's what they call it. Like the Autobahn in Germany, it's called the actorbaun. So this guy also went on to say,
I think I know why it's
that
called that.
he's seen multiple celebrities there. One in particular, he mentioned Seinfeld. He mentioned Seinfeld a lot because he takes this highway a lot. And the guy interviewed him
Seinfeld was
said,
on
hey,
CBS.
what drink does he drink? I want to say he
that.
said a double latte or a oat milk latte, double shot or something like that. Not a big Starbucks guy. I really don't know all the drinks.
Starbucks
Heck,
is
I
not
have a
that
problem
great.
saying venti or whatever the hell. I don't know what all the sizes are. Crazy stuff. But anyway, that is insane. He says, if you ever seen a celebrity stuck in a highway, like...
I'm not a Starbucks person. I think their coffee is way too freaking aesthetic for me. I'm more of a Dutch Bros girl. If you guys have ever tried Dutch Bros, they are on the West Coast. They're originally out of Washington, Oregon. They have them in California now. If you have the opportunity to go to Dutch Brothers, go. It is so good. All they do is coffee. There's no food. They have these little muffin things, but it's coffee. It's good coffee. So good. You can't go wrong. They also do teas. They also do these like where they'll do energy drinks. They have their own brand of energy drink, and then they'll make like a soda thing or mix it with like a tea. It's so good. Really good. So it's not just coffee. It's also teas and things like that. So, yeah. No secret Starbucks is over here, guys.
Like Will Smith or something like that. And then you all of a sudden see him popping up at a Lakers game or a Dodgers game or wherever a certain event is, like magically. He said because they don't drive like normal people. They don't have access. They have access to something that doesn't allow them to drive like normal people. And that's what he's saying. So the question...
Kobe must not have been in the secret club if he was taking his helicopter everywhere, right? Did you know that company, it's not operating anymore, Island Adventures, but they're suing the FAA because they said they actually cleared them to fly that day. Who cleared them? Who said it was fine when it wasn't? I got questions about that, man, and I got questions about who actually owns that company. That was just a side tangent. I just thought about it. That's why I like watching this with you guys, right? Then I can be like, hey, wait a minute, if I have a thought.
That I have for you
Love
today.
watching
Do
YouTube
you
with you
believe
guys.
that there are some super highway for the super elite in Hollywood,
Yeah.
or for anywhere for that matter? On the other hand, for one, I think that there is. It makes sense.
Here's
Beneath the
thing.
hectic streets of Los Angeles, in the
I was just thinking of the word thing there about the whole like elite thing and how it's, you know, a secret derogatory word that some of these billionaires and stuff, these wealthy people created. Well, another thing is I don't know the origin of the word rapper, right? But they love it when they name something or something has a name that means something else. So think about rapper. Think about candy wrapper. Think about how some of these companies actually treat these rappers and these singers and stuff like that. They just use them up and throw them away. Kind of like a food wrapper. Thinking about it? You putting some things together? Sometimes you would also wrapping a present. Yeah. That gets into some of the sickness, but they love words like that where they're like, they name something and they're going around and saying, I'm this, you know, I'm a rapper. And they're just like back there thinking, yeah, and I'm going to throw you away when I'm done with you. Just think about that.
center of the bustling film industry are dozens of worn-down, abandoned tunnels. The whispers of a bygone era lie within their walls, now dormant and shrouded in darkness. More than just passageways, these tunnels are reminders of a revolutionary era in Los Angeles.
The video switched. Did it? Did the video just switch? Of course it did. That's what I get for having all this up. When did that happen? Or did this finish? I think it finished.
Beneath the hectic streets of Los Angeles.
Look at this picture of a tunnel right now. I am going to find that. I want to hear Bill talking about the tunnels. I'm going to find this video. Where is it? I have a bunch of playlists going on with lots of videos. I have all these playlists. You guys seen. I just show you all my playlists. I have a ton of playlists. It's just categorize things. Let's see. No, that's not what I want. Go away. Let's see. No, we watched that video. I had at one point found where Bill Palsy was the podcast he was on. The full one. Where is that? I have this whole playlist that's just titled Industry. And it's like everything I have found and then some. Yeah. Where is my industry playlist? There we go. Yeah, I mean, it feels like here lately, things have just been really hitting the fan with, like, Hollywood ever since. Well, I mean, we had R. Kelly, but, like, that didn't seem to make things go as crazy as, like, the P. Diddy stuff. That's for sure. Oh, I'm going through this playlist and I'm seeing other stuff and I'm like, oh, we're going to have to talk about that and that and that. Oh, yeah. I remember that. We're going to have to talk about that. I might not be able to find this actorbaun video. I'm going to Google it then. Bill Palsy. Underground Starbucks. Evil Starbucks video. Let me move this over here. You can see. No, don't play that. Yeah, let's see. Britney Spears. Oh, we're going to be talking about Britney Spears, too. And what they did to her. That's crazy. That's a dark hole I fell through a couple weeks ago. Yeah, where is it? Come on. You think it would be one of the first things coming up because it was so popular. Like, and it's coming around again this because of Allie Carter. It's coming around again about the whole underground tunnels and stuff. So, like, that's why it came back up. Him talking about this, like, Starbucks. Like, where did this video go? Are you trying to hide it from me, YouTube? Let me just put Starbucks. Huh. War is evil. What? That's interesting. We saw that. Recommends you other stuff. Cat Williams. Yeah, speaking the truth. I hate when it recommends me all this other shit I don't want to see. Because I'm trying to find this video of the actorbaun, man. Crazy. Crazy. So let's see. Let's go back to my playlist. I have a LA Tunnels playlist. Maybe I stuck it in there. Maybe that's what I did. Like, my playlists are a mess. I'm so messy. My playlists are a mess. Ew. Real tunnels. Yeah, there are real tunnels. We can also talk about, too, when they were building the metro line, the red line, they actually had a lot of problems with that. When I was looking into it, that there was actually a huge sinkhole that opened up in Hollywood. Like this really big ass sinkhole. And there was a bunch of businesses that had gone out of business because of it, and the city just never did anything about it, apparently. Like, I was like, what? Let me see. Let's watch this. Okay. All right, we're going to watch this one. So this is PBS. Hopefully I don't get dinged. No, I did not want that one. No, I wanted these people. Cool. Okay. This couple. This is Oddity Odyssey. And they go exploring different things and stuff like that. And so they decided they were going to go explore the tunnels under LA, the Prohibition tunnels. So I was telling you about the Prohibition tunnels, right? Those are a thing in LA. They still are there. And we remember our man, Huell Hauser yesterday. And he was with that guy who worked at a bank. We don't know which one. And they had tunnels that they found accidentally. And then they found these cars. And it was just like, hey, man, a free-for-all. It's like, so there's a lot of these underground tunnels in LA. And let me get to, because they do a little bit of exploring before. But so somebody scribbled down for them how to get to one of these tunnels. So these tunnels were everywhere. They were used for prohibition, but they were originally built so they could transport money, prisoners, and important administration papers between the courthouse, the prison, and other bank buildings and businesses around downtown, because a lot of people were getting mugged and stuff carrying the money. So they decided to build these underground tunnels, and one of the uses was so these banks could take money and shift it around and whatnot. Yeah, and then when Prohibition came around, they were just like, yeah, we'll use these tunnels to move around alcohol. And I'm like, yeah, what are you still using them for today, huh? So let's watch them. sneak down to the old Prohibition tunnels.
Then look for a hidden escalator and ride that up one level. Tunnels are directly ahead. So there's this, but I think that's the
Shout out
metro
to them
elevator.
for doing the hard work, because
Is that over there?
I ain't about to
Oh,
go
that
down to
little
some
building?
underground tunnel.
Yeah, that might be it. Let's go see.
What is that saying from Hey Arnold? Do you guys remember Hey Arnold? Sun goes down, stay above ground. I think we should just stay above ground, right? Right. I also found this interesting. Now, they also love weird shit like this, too. Numbers, 222. What does that mean? What does 222 mean? They love angel numbers. Like I said, it goes back to a lot of their beliefs and stuff about the universe and what is God and what is the devil, and they don't really know, so they love these things, these 222 numbers. I love 222. That's one of my favorite numbers, angel numbers as well, because me and my fiance Patrick, our birthdays are 2 weeks, 2 hours, and 22 minutes apart. So I love 222. But what does 222 mean? 222 meaning balance, harmony, and good fortune. So if you were moving around monies and, hiding things underground, wouldn't it be great to have, like, things around that would, like, help aid you in good luck if that was something you believed in? Wink, wink, wink. Nod, nod. Get it? Yeah. Also, that was over by here was, like, back in the day in the early 1900s, all the mansions and stuff were over off of Bunker Hill over by here too, which Bunker Hill's still there.
I think so.
Yeah, interesting. 2222. Good fortune, guys. That's
Okay, so we're
creepy.
just in a very nice part of downtown LA, and now we just stepped into this creepy, broken down.
Well, here's the thing. The other thing that's weird about that subway station, guys. I'm going to pull up. Why this place? I think I'll pull up Google Maps, but I'll show you what's weird about that subway station.
Are you sure
we
this is the right
visited,
place?
the old terminal.
Let's do that.
Where are we going? Where is this taking us? I'm scared we're gonna die here.
No, we're not gonna die. It's very slow though.
I know, it's not moving. Are we moving? We'll see where he's leading us.
Maybe the doors will open. Oh, okay. All right, well, looks like two choices, left and right. I'm going left.
What if I just leave him here?
She's just gonna leave me. You're really gonna leave me here? Fine, I'll follow you. Not a soul in sight.
Fine. That's fine.
Someone sitting there? Oh.
What's in there?
Looks like newspaper clippings and records. Probably all of our personal information. Maybe this way?
Yeah, what are they
Possibly.
keeping down
Also-
there? What was that? What was that? What is this? What is this? Okay.
And records. Probably all of our
What is this?
information. Maybe this way?
Possibly.
See, and this is being maintained in all this. Like, see, like,
Oh, look what we found.
for example, if you're someone who works for the city or, is a worker, politician, you're going to know how to get around all these tunnels over here, right? Speaking of politicians, we're going to get into that as well. Kielhauser pointed me in another direction when I was scoping out downtown LA on Google Maps. Oh boy. But yeah, you're going to know about these tunnels. You might even have some of the keys to, like, the door that was at the park. Just saying.
That means I think we're on the right track. Well, shall we?
Yeah, after you.
I love the art here. Doesn't that kind of look like a light shining down or a pyramid? That's interesting.
And while we ride up this seemingly slow escalator, let's to tell you guys a little bit about the history of the Hall of Records tunnel.
Yes, tell us more.
From 1920 to 1933, a movement known as the Dry Crusade to help stop family violence, political corruption, and alcoholism led to the passing of the 18th Amendment.
Wow, that's a bummer. Yeah, I'm like, I heard that womp womp. Womp womp. That was recently too. Womp womp. Yeah. Oh my God. Right on their heels. Oh my God, Dry Crusades.
Alcohol was prohibited, which of course led to bootlegging and speakeasy clubs. The tunnels beneath the city were a way for alcohol to be passed around and enjoyed with a devious excitement added to the mix.
The guy's face.
Straight ahead.
Oh, that's creepy. This is creepy. Hall of Records? Isn't that weird? Isn't this just weird? It's like Hall of Records, and I get it, but like it reminds me of like, you know how you hear like occult things, how they're like the Hall of Records underneath the Sphinx, you know, in Giza in Egypt. You know, you hear about that, and it's like, this is weird, man. And they love these people, not her, but you know, these people in power, you know, they love this. They love doing this stuff. They love, you know, like trying to like be like, look, we're like the reincarnation of this like powerful pharaoh, and we're going to reenact stuff by naming things like the Hall of Records. Isn't that so cool, guys? We're going to be remembered forever as legends, because that's the thing. A lot of them really also want to be remembered as well. So like a lot of them, like the best way to be remembered is to become a legend, like a real legend, like Zeus, or like the god, like like Roman gods or something, myths. This is really like one of the few ways. Like your family might remember you for a couple generations and stuff, but like they want everybody on earth to know who they are forever. And yeah, so they do shit like this. It's yeah.
Be down here.
It sounds like I'm reaching, but I'm reaching for the stars.
Here they are.
You get it?
So cool.
There's that famous sound horn signs you always see online. Well, it sounds like this place is gonna fall down around us.
Yeah.
What's going on around you? Whoa.
Creepy.
What's down there? What is that? See, I'm really nosy. I like to pause it. I'm like, what's back there? What's this? Wow, man. Oh my gosh!
Some kind of vent.
So that must be for like the buildings and stuff around there. See, like that looks like a chute. Like you could put stuff down there like a body. Allegedly, like garbage, but like, what the? That's a scary ass fucking like slide something, man. What the hell?
Should we try to go up there?
Hell no!
Yeah, thanks.
No!
You're not wearing a skirt.
No! Oh my gosh! She's trying to go up it in a skirt!
Oh
my gosh, girl, no!
No,
Nope.
I feel like the monster's gonna reach down and suck her in. Oh my god! No! No! I know what's gonna happen, but I'm like, no! You're in an underground tunnel. We don't know what's going on down there. You're not supposed to be there, and now you're trying to climb up into this scary black hole thing. A monster's gonna suck you in, girlfriend. Oh, I'm about to have a heart attack watching her climb up this thing. What are you doing?
Not gonna happen?
You can't even get up there.
I could probably get up there.
Oh, no!
There's nothing to hold on
With
to.
your
It's just
equipment!
like-
No! Oh my god.
It's gonna have to remain a mystery where this leads.
Well, thank God
Not
for
our
that,
friend here.
because we don't want you to end up missing
Let's see what
on a
else we can find
poster
out.
or in a
So I heard in
They could have seriously ended up in a Mr. Ballin, places you're not supposed to go, and people that went there. Whenever I see a trespassing sign, And like I'm walking with Patrick, he's like, we could go over here, and I'm like, I don't know if we can do that. And he's like, oh no, it's fine. And I think about Mr. Ball, and I'm like, that could be me, man. That could be me, man. So yeah, don't do this. No, you could end up on missing 411's another one. Like, dang.
In the 1960s, that these tunnels were used to move like over $1 billion worth of tax revenue.
What? What? That's a lot of monies. So, what are they using these tunnels to move nowadays, huh, guys? Hey, guys, can someone answer my question? I got a lot of questions, and I would love to know what's going on. Hey, if you guys are in LA, if anybody's in LA, pay taxes in LA. You should ask because you can ask people like your council members and stuff. You can go to those meetings and you can ask them questions. I'd ask them how they're maintaining these and where the money's going and stuff. They're supposed to show you all that. Be interesting.
And there were like machine gun guards and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I heard they used to also transport high-profile criminals like Mickey Cohen.
What?
He's a mobster guy.
Still are. There's those numbers.
This could be the door to an old...
See, they had numbers like that over on the subway walls. What is all this? I guess maintenance stuff. I'm just like, what is this? What is that?
Speakeasy, you know, because you can't have alcohol above. You bring it all down here and everybody would just have a good time. There is another door on the inside.
Does it open? Oh, that's like a new freaking
Push
door.
the exit. These old tunnels are now used
This is
for
really
Hall of
creepy,
Records
guys.
and Hall of Administration employees to walk through, as well as storage. But there's still a sense of debauchery in the air about what used to take place here.
As Mark Twain said, nothing so needs reforming as other people's habits. Fanatics will never learn that though it be written in letters of gold across the sky, it is prohibition that makes anything precious.
Wow, pretty neat. Hey, you wanna go grab a beer?
Yes. I know a place actually, not too far from
I would
here.
love a
Great, 'cause
beer.
it's hotter than hell. I need a beer.
I took Drew down to the corner of 5th and Los Angeles Street, where
Ooh,
there's
this
a
is
bar called the
interesting,
King
too.
Eddie that has its own special tie to the Prohibition era. All right, so
This
we're
is
here to
really
check out the
interesting.
King Eddie Saloon, established in 1933, and I hear that there's a speakeasy in the basement. Could be a rumor, we don't know. So we're gonna go in and talk to Chris, the owner, and see what he can tell us about it. Today we are here with Chris Caston, owner of the one and only King Eddie Saloon. And how long have you been the owner of this bar?
We took over in September of last year, 2016.
Okay, so pretty recent. And they have a full bar, and they also have live music.
That's right.
I heard. So
Yep.
stop by if you can on
Let's see
Friday
if
and
he shows
Saturday
you
if you are your
guys.
best nights. And
Okay, so this bar, the speakeasy, it was like a bar until like Prohibition, and then when Prohibition came in, they were like, oh crap, well, move it to the basement. So they hid it in the basement, and the top part became a piano store, and you just had to have a code and stuff. So they go down here. Oh, look, there's the building. Yeah, there's a lot of cool buildings. Let's see. Where do they go down? There we go. Bloop.
So, watch
Take
your
a sip
step.
of water.
Right. Oh.
Creepy old stairs.
And all of this is in its original form.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
it's probably been painted, but
So this
yeah,
connected
it's-
to
Oh, you
all
need a
those
secret knock to get in there?
tunnels.
There it is. Hopefully no one's home.
I'm gonna show it. So that's where the speakeasy was. What was more interesting was these. There we go.
So is this under...
So this is Los Angeles Street,
Okay.
right? So this
This is cool.
what was
This
the
is
old
what it was
ice
cool.
chest for keeping all the beer cold.
No, that wasn't it.
And obviously
Show
it's
us the
pretty
elevator,
big,
man.
so you figure they did a lot of business down here if you had a
And we know where to come.
That's
You're gonna
right.
be ready for it.
Kind of thirsty.
This is so cool. If they ever have another prohibition, we know where to come. You're gonna be ready for it.
So tell me, what was this area used for? So this was a lift that would go up through
Okay,
the
this is the
sidewalk.
lift.
You've seen those metal, doors on sidewalks that in the old days used to open up and you'd freight
Okay, so-
whatever you had to freight down to the basement.
So they had these. So they probably still have these things throughout LA. That's what I wanted you to see. They probably still have these things. And just think about if it was maintained, like what you could, do with that.
Yeah, there's some old there's lots of gears and pulley.
There's the tunnel.
Beneath your feet.
The 1920s left us these tunnels. History.
Yeah, okay. So, I got my Google Maps over here for you guys. Bloop. So, all right. Make this a little bit bigger. Can you hear my cat crying in the background? There's, oh my gosh, do you hear him? He sounds like he's a barking cat. So, he's so loud. So anyways, hopefully we can just talk through him barking, meowing. So this is where the subway terminal was that we were looking at. And underneath, here's where the tunnels are, right? So they turn these into apartments. So if we go down here just a little bit. Oh my goodness, there's the Cecil. So the Cecil Hotel, right there, guys, was right next to the subway station. How much you want to bet there's tunnels here, too, at the Cecil? Underneath. I just saw that and I was like, wait a minute, what? What? This is a weird neighborhood. This neighborhood is weird. I found some weird rabbit holes around here. But yeah, I tried figuring out who owns this. There was no connection with the Murdochs. I tried to figure out who owned the building before. But it was weird. Those guys with Hill Hauser, they were working in other buildings. And so it was just, it was kind of odd. So I wanted to show you guys that. I thought that was a little interesting. Okay. Oh, quiet. Alrighty, I'm going to show you this. So when they were doing the Red Line and they were building the new subway, right? They started encountering a lot of problems with it. So here was one of the problems, was a sinkhole.
An underground construction accident creates a giant sinkhole that swallows.
Yeah, so let's take a look at this. So all these sinkholes, and they kept saying water mains kept breaking. They actually, a few years ago, they had another sinkhole just not as big as this one, but in about the same area. And they said it was the main broke. And I'm like, the main line broke again, and I get it, but what's going on over here that a little bit of ground with the water is making everything sink in? And then another thing I've seen is where when I was watching videos of the LA River, a bunch of areas where there's groundwater seeping up. And we saw that too in the Huell Hauser. So why is it that there's no water to fight these fires, but all this water's underground over here? I don't get it.
Sinkhole that swallows up
It's
a
probably,
busy street,
politics.
catching a city by
Resniks.
surprise.
Just
So it
saying.
fell right in. My staff and I were out on the street going, oh, this looks like this could be really
That is
bad.
really bad. Wow.
June 22nd, 1995, Hollywood, California. Tinseltown brings to mind images of big homes.
Yeah, I don't know how much I can show this because it's MSNBC, and they're weird about their footage, but I kind of wanted you to see that hole. She just talks about how they're going to repair the hole, how bad the hole was. That was a big-ass sinkhole. In Hollywood, they've had other ones where they... Look, here's the newer one. Here's another archive. Potholes. Potholes caused by the Metro Rail. So here is where the road started to crack because of the building of the Metro Rail. Sure, guys. Okay. What else is down there? Yeah. Let's go to Hillhauser for a second. So, we were looking at the actorbaun and whatnot. We're going to look over here at Warner Brothers. So, our friend Huell... Our friend Hillhauser over here decided to take a tour at Warner Brothers. And they pointed out something when they were on this tour that I found very interesting. And it just... Watch.
Jungle. All three fit the bill. Depends on what day we're here. But India, or you name it, enhance the show and fool the people.
Here we go.
Okay.
We're gonna go on a little tour.
Okay,
Backstage studio tour with
Over here to the
Huell.
right, we have the Old West, our own Western town, which is a very complete set. This is built also in the 40s. Randolph Scott used to make Westerns back here. When I first came here, I worked in a film with Alan Ladd, who worked back here. Gary Cooper worked back here. Kirk Douglas, Henry Fonda worked back here. Robert Mitchum worked back here. John Wayne's worked back here. You name it. They've all worked back here.
Jane Fonda's dad was not very nice.
This looks like...
When I was doing some research, side note, he was not nice. He was mean to reporters. Like, this nice reporter was trying to talk to him, and he just walked past him. It was mean.
But look at this. You've got the modern office building in the background.
Yeah, there's their office building.
That's our new bridge building, but you shoot...
That's your new what building?
Look at this. This looks like... But look at this. You've got the modern office building in the background. No, that's our new bridge building, but you shoot 1 inch above eye line beneath that for your shots in the town. You don't see that. You shoot below that, and you're in good shape. You recall a film called Blazing Saddles? No? Yeah.
That's what's crazy about when they do these movies and stuff is that, like, their sets, some of the sets look like shit, but the way they film it, you would never know.
Brooks, we did that film here in the 70s. Alex Karras punches a horse and knocks the horse over. Do you remember that shot in the film? That was done back here. And we shot Bonanza for 5 seasons back here. The last 5 years was on the air. Fu, Colt 45. Maverick and South miniseries. Yeah, they're looking around. You guys explaining what's going on back here. Boy, look at this.
People on the tour.
Look, Louis, over here. You can look right through the gate, the livery stable gate, and there's the other side, a modern office building. Obviously, that gate's shut when we're shooting.
Right.
You get the inside look when we want the gate open now. I'll just give you a quick swing around this side of the set, give you an idea of the size of this thing. It's a complete set. We do a lot of horses roam around here, and we chase people through here, and we have cattle stampedes going through here. You name it, we can do it in here.
Where is it?
So it's a pretty complete set.
These are historic buildings in their own, or historic sets, because they're not actually buildings.
No, but you're
like a Western town.
Those gates. I got something very interesting to show you next, something we're very proud of here. We're kind of like the first studio to do what we've done on this. We have a terrific way that we set up our wardrobe division, a costume department is what we call it.
Here it comes.
And we're going to go down through here. This is a brand new building. We've been doing a lot of construction here. We've been adding to the studio in a tremendous way. We've built a new bridge across the LA riverbank, which...
You got that? So they built a bridge, it sounds like a private bridge, across from one studio to another. So this is what I think of the whole actorbaun thing when I heard this. There are, on studio lot, Starbuckses. There are Starbuckses located. So that's why I kind of think that maybe this was a Starbucks. I've seen where there's Starbucks in buildings, in companies, because you can do that. I think they have a franchise or something. I don't know. Is the thing. So what if, because some of these movie studios still use some of these tunnels and they've built their own tunnels and stuff, like they have parts of their movie sets or their studios that are underground where they do some filming. They probably got some offices. They maybe have the Starbucks there. And I'm going to give you a scenario. So I don't know how much of you I live in the Coachella Valley, okay? And we have a lot of country clubs out here. And so some of the country clubs, they will be in between two big main streets. And growing up, my grandparents lived in one of these country clubs. And you could go from you could cut through the country club by going through one gate, going through the neighborhood and out the other. And it would save you like a couple minutes. It would save you like 5 minutes instead of taking all the public roads all the way around. So if you had the gate opener, you could do that. And I remember my grandma doing that a lot. We wouldn't be going home, but we would use it just to cut through. So what I'm thinking is that maybe they have some short tunnels or things like that. Bridges, but mostly like the tunnel idea. I bet they wouldn't be surprised if they had something like that, and part of one of these buildings might have actually gone and extended underground, because a lot of these newer buildings, especially prison buildings or jails, we have a jail in a jail in the Coachella Valley that goes partly underground. And so they could have built some of these buildings partly underground, where there's like a garage, and then there's there is a tunnel to the other lot. And you can go under said lot through this tunnel to the other studio lot. And you cut through probably part of LA. You get a good chunk of time. That's how I kind of think that might be working. A lot of these studios, too, like Universal Studio is UMG Music. So it's like these studios, like musicians, actors, they're all little lower level people for these rich, powerful people in the background. So they probably do things like this where they give them like, here, you guys can cut through the lot. Like Seinfeld, he worked for CBS. Bill Palsy, he was on Survivor. Dude was on Survivor. I'm pretty that's CBS. So that would make sense that he saw Seinfeld, right? That would make sense that they had him go work at the Starbucks, the secret Starbucks on the Universe or on the CBS lot or something, right? And that's where the tunnel was that he knew about. And really, this secret tunnel is it's a tunnel from one movie lot to another. It's just one lot to another, probably to save time for filming TV shows and stuff. If actors or producers or anybody needs to get from one sound studio to another, vice versa, they probably put these tunnels in, and they probably let their actors, they're really good actors who have been around for a while, made them a lot of money, access. And I bet this is a complimentary Starbucks wherever this is. Kind of like how Google, how they have the free cafeteria. We've all heard about the Google cafeteria back in the day and how you go there and they can get free vegan meals and all that stuff. Well, I'm thinking that's what's going on here, that this Starbucks was no pay because it was the studios. It's in their building. It kind of clicks when you think about how Bill Palsy was on Survivor. And he mentioned Seinfeld's show was CBS. So that might be a thread to look into, is the CBS. I mean, wow. So yeah, I wanted to point that out. Like, he just made this, I was watching this Warner Bros. I'm like, oh, I wonder if and he makes this little comment about the bridge. And I was like, wait a minute, what if? So, let's look into a little more of these bridges. I want to watch a little bit more. Oh, I think I might get dinged for this trailer. I'm not sure because of the music. Let's see. We'll see if I get dinged for this. This is from the 90s about them building the new metro. I could not find this documentary anywhere, though. It's like disappeared. Make it so dramatic. So, this is a trailer called Beneath Los Angeles. It's for a documentary in 1999 that came out. I can't find it anywhere. The website for it is defunct. And it is supposed to be about them building the Red Line. Look at this. This is all the stuff they did for the Metro.
Tunneling through the mountains.
That's crazy.
From Hollywood Highland Station to Universal City. It's a tunneling under great depth. The greatest depth somewhere here is about 900 feet.
That's where the music gets crazy. Like, ooh, this is another world.
It is the most ambitious transportation project ever undertaken.
The system is going to be 19 miles in a very short period of time.
And at $300 million per mile, the most expensive.
That's crazy.
The machine, when it's mining full time, it'll do about a set 4-foot advance every hour.
Can't get out this way.
What else did they dig up while they were down
Until
there?
its completion in the year
all the water.
2000, it is a journey few will take.
A journey few will take.
From the tunnels, carved beneath a mountain range and through an earthquake fault.
We've already mined all of this distance, and we are right.
Yeah, they cut through an earthquake fault. I don't know about you, but I don't know why is that a good idea to disturb a fault line? I don't know, man.
We're here now, so we've only got about 500 feet to go.
I wouldn't want to touch that.
To the stations, each a unique architectural and artistic vision.
Oh, that's
This
nice.
is Hollywood and Vine in one of the world's most famous intersections. The supporting columns have been designed to look like palm trees. We
Cool,
have
man.
embedded and
that's
recycled film
nice.
reels which line the ceiling.
To the miners, many who have worked underground for generations.
My son, he started as a miner. My father did the same thing, and
The music's just like
gold
making
mine
it
in
sound like they're
Browns Valley.
building this great underground city or something, right?
To the controversy.
Oh, the
that has brought
controversy.
national
There's that
attention
sinkhole.
and local outrage.
The building is cracked from the roof all the way.
Look at this. So building this red line was a cluster because, I don't know, usually you do a lot of engineering and stuff. This should not be happening to the surrounding area as you're bulldozing through the city. Like, if you made the plans right and everything, why is this happening? Accidents happen. Sinkholes happen. But see, this is a problem that started happening as soon as they started that red line. And then they just didn't do anything else. Why? Was it because there's already too many tunnels down there and we can't do it anymore? What's going on?
Cross to the extent that you can actually see daylight. They told me, that they would go ahead and help me until my club reopened within 6 to 8 weeks. And that was 2 years ago.
Her club
and
never
I'm still
reopened.
closed down. They're gonna
As far as I know.
foreclose on my house, and so
Wow.
I don't know what I'm gonna do next.
To the
So, LA got a metro line and this lady lost her house. Oh, this is where they poke through the
milestones
Bloop.
will shape the future of the city of Los Angeles.
Them looking through the hole. The music. Doesn't this make it seem like they're building an underground city, like beneath Los Angeles? Like, what? What else did you build down there, guys? Huh? Here, look, here's Lana's tunnel. 2007. This is a video from 2007. When they were opening back up the tunnels to look in it. 2007. Let's see.
Well, one of the reasons is so you can talk
Let's take a peek in here. I thought it was interesting, this graffiti back here with the skull with 5 snakes coming out. This looks like a church cathedral or something, the way it's closed up and you have this like stage back here. Doesn't it seem like... Doesn't this seem like you could have a party down here or something? Like, this seems like you could do something in here. Like, it's so pretty. It's not that dirty. It's got this drain in the middle. And, oh, hey, did you guys know that snakes coming out of a skull is a symbol of, like, a death? Like, somebody was, like, you know, offed and then, like, given as, like, a present, you know, that word. You know, when you work hard and you have to make sacrifices? Yeah. 5. Raw. Isn't this a nice room, though? This is so nice. It looks like a room, but it's a tunnel. Look at that. That looks like a stage, doesn't it? No wonder Lana Del Rey did a song about this. This is a beautiful... I wish they would open this back up. I think it's still closed. Look. Oh my god. This is what Lana was trying to invoke for us. Interesting. Look, see, they had like little shops in here too. Look, there's a little door. See, like there's these little doors and stuff. What is this? It's interesting, right? It's oddly clean over here. Kind of like the subway was kind of oddly clean in some areas, huh? That should be a lot dirtier.
Yeah, I know.
God, the tile is so beautiful. Oh, the flappers. See, it was by the Renaissance Hotel. Let's see. Oh, that's a better view of it. Wow. That's cool. But it does. It looks like you could... It looks like a room with a stage. And then it's all tiled and it's got this nice drain in the middle. Just saying. It's a really nice room, right? Let's show you this. I don't know how much I can show you of this. No. Ah! Wrong thing. No. I don't want your music.
This mega mansion.
No. Okay. So this house, whose house was this? I forget whose house. This is a $150 million mansion in Los Angeles. I think this is in Beverly Hills. Let's listen.
Totally insane.
The mega discount lured in Lachlan Murdoch.
He's the CEO of Fox.
That's a different Murdoch. Different last name spelling, but What are you going to use those tunnels for?
And the son of billionaire media mogul Rupert Murdoch.
Ooh, we'll have to look into them. A different Murdoch family, right? Huh. What are you guys doing with those tunnels? And he's in media. Let's see. I don't want to see your house. I want to see your fucking tunnels. There we go. There's the money shot.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my god.
Another tunnel.
Wow.
Oh, you're going fast at that thing.
Whoa. This is what's at the end of this tunnel.
Yeah, so see, these houses have tunnels. They have these prohibition tunnels. So it's like, what other prohibition tunnels are around there that we have not seen? Right? I don't know, man. I think this is just insane. Oh, here's our friend, the other Murdoch. We'll take a look at this guy and then we'll close out with Tupac.
In mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream, or the soul is dead that slumbers,
What?
or things are not what they seem.
Words of wisdom from 100.
When I was 4, my mom is the one that taught me.
Things are not what they seem? What? You gonna tell me about this, man?
Tell me not, in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream, or the soul is dead that slumbers, or things are not what they seem.
Ooh. The soul that slumbers is dead? What? And all is not what it seems? What? I feel like listening to this man that he's being condescending to like poor people, to all of us. Like he's better than us. Like he figured out the secret to life, man. He's 101. He eats fruits and vegetables. He figured it out. Track homes. Hawaii. North Carolina. California. Fruits and veggies. Research into longevity. Son's got a pharmaceutical company. Semaglutide. What has exploded? People taking weight loss drugs. We're going to get into all that too.
When I was 4, my mom is the one that taught me poetry.
That's
and
nice.
I said, I can't do that. And she said, I'll help you if you try.
Oh,
but I
that's
won't
nice.
help you if you don't try.
That's probably nice. That was probably good to teach him. Like, I'm like, that's not bad.
And so I think
Let your mom teach
whenever
you.
I hit something that is impossible to do, I think of my mom and I say, I will try.
Oh, good for you.
I'm David Howard Murdoch. I'm owner of Doe Food.
Right on. Tell us more.
I always had a competitive spirit.
I bet you do.
I left school when I was 14.
They're all very, very, very competitive people. These billionaires, these powerful people, they're all very competitive, and it's all about being the best. And you could tell by the way he's talking, it's just like, I figured out the secret to life. And those of you that are just sitting around and couch rotting aren't.
18 years old and went to work. I spent 2.5 years in the Army and moved to Arizona where I started building houses. I became...
Building houses. He also had an oil company too. I think it was oil. Was it oil? I think it was oil that he was in.
quite successful. By the time I was 25 years old, I was a multimillionaire.
Wow. How'd you do that, man? Just real estate? Was it just real estate that you did that? Can you explain that to me? Like, can you break that down? Because I would love for you to break that down for me and find out exactly how you became a multimillionaire at 25. I would love that.
When I was in graduate school, Mr. Murdoch bought Cannon Mills, and I went to work for him as first a personal assistant. Then I started doing marketing. I later moved into real estate and have managed Mr. Murdoch's real estate for the past 33 years.
Wow, so you know where all the properties are. I should ask her. I should be asking that lady where all of his properties are in downtown LA. Does any of the properties that your boss owns in downtown LA connect to underground tunnels like the Prohibition tunnels or the subway? I would love to know.
Cannon Mills at one time was the largest producer of household textiles in the world. There were about 22,000 people working here. Mr. Murdoch bought the company and owned it for about 4.5 years before he sold it, and Pilatex is...
So he got into acquisitions and mergers. So this guy just buys companies and runs them, is what I feel like. Because, like, dude was doing housing, and then he just happens to buy a textile company. Yeah, that's called acquisitions and mergers. A lot of billionaires do this. They buy companies that are doing good, and they just do a little bit of magic, connections with some friends and whatnot. They have more capital, and they move it to a higher level. It's quite amazing.
It's the company that declared bankruptcy in the early 2000s. Mr. Murdoch went to New York to the bankruptcy auction and bought the property back.
Really?
He said, I have two goals. One, to put the people of Kannapolis back to work. And my second goal is to find some way to teach people about nutrition.
7 years ago now, he decided to knock the old mill down and create a wonderful new research facility.
So this was his private money that created the campus, and Dole Foods simply has a lab placed on the campus.
That's a really nice lab. That's a fancy-ass lab. Isn't that a fancy lab, guys? Look, it's got the Star of Life when you walk in. That's what that is. That's the Star of Life, that design. You find it in flowers, fruits, vegetables, nature, but that pattern is referred to as the Star of Life. Probably seen it in New Age
And then he tried
stores.
to get all the top universities in North Carolina and some of the top companies to come here and work together.
So he got all of his buddies and all of the top universities to come work with him. Who are those people? Can I get a list?
Create science around health and nutrition. So we have agricultural universities like NC State, and we also have universities that are interested in human health, such as UNC Chapel Hill.
There is no other place that has a campus with 8 universities all working together with private...
8 universities. 8. Like I said, this guy is using the research to help promote his businesses. When research comes out and it says, this is good for you, you need to look in to see who's paying for this research and why. Even if it comes out of a university, a lot of times, it's good science and all, but why was this funded? That's why a lot of things don't get funded. And you're like, why haven't we solved this yet? Because it wasn't going to help someone's bottom line at their company.
private industry to collaborate on scientific discovery.
There are approximately 300 scientists that work on the campus as a whole, and then Dole itself has a total scientific team of 4 people, including myself.
Wow. Dole has their own scientists.
When I picked all the equipment that's in the lab, I brought all the scientists. I checked on who knew about all of the, whether it was a mic.
This guy has his own scientists. He's into longevity, and he has his own scientists. When you're funding a research program like this, and you have scientists, and they want your money to fund the research and shit, you'll do a lot of off-the-book things for them. Wink, wink, nod, nod, get it. Allegedly. I wonder if there's been any controversies with this university and whatnot, because there is a lot of controversies. You know, you'll hear about universities having, you know, where they're taking like, you know, like they're using improperly, like taking parts that aren't, they're like stolen parts from a car, but it's not a car, it's a person. And yeah, there's no record of where it came from. And then it's like, well, how did it end up here at the university in the cadaver lab? How did these parts end up here for our longevity experiments? Because remember, there are also a lot of like pharmaceuticals, like vaccines. They were working with DNA. We saw that article where they were working with DNA, where you need other people's DNA to do the research. You need like blood or white cells or, to do the research. Where is all that coming from? Where are the parts coming from to do the research here? They're not just looking at pineapples under microscopes and saying, wow, look, see, it kills MRSA. They were working on DNA stuff for like cancer and things like that. Who are they experimenting on with these cancer cells? What are they doing with these cancer cells? And all the other stuff there. What is actually going on? It'd be interesting to look into what the research is that they're going on over at this, especially it's in North Carolina. That's interesting. Wonder if he's going to be building some homes there.
Microscope, or whether it was a 950 megahertz machine.
We actually have the biggest currently available in the world nuclear magnetic resonance instrument.
That sounds expensive. But when you have a billionaire being able to buy you fancy equipment like scientists, this is the stuff they get geeked over. They get geeked, guys. Like, they love getting equipment, the expensive, brand new fancy equipment, and they love being able to use the fancy equipment, bloop, to do their experiments, and they love the fancy equipment because when they do those fancy experiments, they can write about it in fancy medical journals, and they get fancy recognition, and they get to put it, and they get to charge more money when they work somewhere, and it makes them powerful in the scientific community. There's also a competition there as well. We'll probably talk about that.
There are only 2 of them in the world, and we have one here. It enables you to discover chemical structure. And so then, as a trained scientist, we can look at this chemical structure and find out why it might be important in health, or maybe how.
So they'll find out, like I said earlier when they were looking at that stuff, and they're like, it kills MRSA. I'm like, well, they're going to figure out what in it kills MRSA, and then they're going to make a chemical version of it, and then they're going to sell it back to you instead of just having us use the plant. But he's into, like, people eating fruits and vegetables and stuff. But he's developing medications that are not natural for you to ingest into your body so he can make monies. Does this make sense? Because it does not make sense to me that this billionaire, that this Murdoch is funding the research for, like, this longevity stuff. He's saying how, I just eat fish and vegetables and fruits and natural things. But then he's going to take this research and develop a fake thing, an artificial thing for you to ingest. Make it make sense, bro.
We could improve it and make it better.
We can make it better. We can charge you money for it.
I think what we are teaching here is the most important, and we have a lot to do with what people eat. You cannot be healthy and eat wrong.
Well, go ask Foodie Beauty that. What's this?
I only eat fruits and vegetables.
What is this?
And fish. Anything from the sea.
Ooh.
I only eat what will keep me healthy.
See, like, this is easy to do, man. When you're a billionaire. Look, you could tell this dude probably wakes up and goes to this little farmer's market and has this little aesthetic shopping experience, getting his fresh fruit and vegetables every day. But most of us can't do that, man. Most of us are not billionaires. Most of us don't want to, you know, build track homes in places where people lost their houses, man. What is going on here? Like, this is some privilege. And then he's going to take the research he learns from this, turn it into something artificial, and sell it back to you so he can keep living his natural, holistic lifestyle. What properties do you own in downtown LA, man? Because I'd like to know. How did your son's ex-girlfriend, Lana Del Rey, know about those tunnels and stuff? Why is your son have a problem with women too? Because, like, that's the thing. He got in trouble for one of the last girlfriends he had. He got charged with, you know, in her face. So if his son does that to women, what is his father like? His father, who's sitting here and telling us how we need to be healthy. Well, he's going to do this research and create more pharmaceuticals for us to ingest. Well, he's eating everything natural. I don't know, man.
I eat the skins of bananas, the skins of oranges, the skins of pineapple.
La-di-da.
Because there is about 5 times more nutrients in the skin. Anything that the sun touches.
Okay, so if that's true, man, why are you trying to make medications? Why aren't you just telling people to eat the skins of your bananas? Which sounds really bad, but why aren't you telling people to just eat the skin of pineapples? Why are you turning it into medicine to sell to us, man?
Creates the health part of a fruit.
Fruit's not exactly healthy, especially if you're a diabetic.
I had always...
Which, think about it. Like, he wants to solve diabetes. Well, you can't have fruit when you're a diabetic. Well, if he solved diabetes, people could eat more fruit, right? The other thing they make is Halo. You know those Halo? They're like cuties, but they're halos. Yeah, this company makes that too. Do you hear my cat? He agrees.
Known this area for many, many years, and I decided this was where I would build it because I like the people here and I like the climate.
Well, that's nice for you that you just got to choose wherever you wanted to build your house, and you like the climate, and you like how nice it was, and you just love the aesthetics, and you just go to your little farmer's market and eat your fruits and veggies every day. That's nice. Not everybody is lucky like that, man. This is idealistic, man. This is out of touch a little bit.
That is a place that I think he feels very comfortable. He has many happy memories of taking his sons out on the boat, fishing, walking the trails at his home, the Pity Sake Lodge.
What were you teaching your friends? Isn't this a nice old-fashioned boat? See, like, when I see this guy in this, like, lifestyle, it reminds me a lot of Lana Del Rey's aesthetic. Especially in the 2012s, you know, this old Hollywood, this glamour, this Marina Del Rey kind of, you know, old Malibu, old money vibes. It reminds me of this.
Almost every visit, he will say, is my boat in the water, even in the winter.
Good for him. Wow. We could be so lucky to have a boat. All we have to do is eat fruits and vegetables and work hard. And we could be like that. Wow. It is a nice boat.
Act in the...
Yeah. Oh, here's him eating his smoothies.
In the morning when he's in Kannapolis and wherever he is, all over the world, he prepares a smoothie that he drinks every morning and sometimes in the afternoon.
Yeah, not everybody has access to fresh fruits and veggies every day, man. And yet, research to make chemicals for you to ingest.
And it gives him the energy that he needs to get through sometimes a very tedious day.
Okay.
Longevity is a very, very important aspect of what we study here on the campus. Aging is not a disease, it's a normal process that everybody undergoes.
If you're going to live a long time, you need to have good DNA. But what happens as we age is your DNA gets damaged.
You have to have good DNA. Sounds like eugenics to me, which is something that these people believe in, and we'll get into too, because they like to arrange marriages, not just for influence, but because they believe their bloodlines date back to a certain person in history, and it just makes them so much cooler to be related to that person or special.
Damaged and it gets older. That causes problems in health later on. Fruits and vegetables are now showing us that they can stop this damage so your DNA remains intact.
Then why are you trying to make drugs out of them? Why don't we just
We
eat the
believe
veggies?
that the discoveries we're making today are going to allow us to age and live longer, but we're also going to be able to be physically active. We're going to still be able to be mentally active. And I think that's the really important thing. It's one thing to be old, but it's quite another thing to be old and healthy.
Well, that's easy when you're a billionaire. It's easy to be old and healthy when you are a billionaire. Billionaire with a B. This is weird, all these kids and around.
There's an event happening today on the research campus. It's I think about 500 people are turning up, and they're going to
Look at all the families here with their kids.
walk and bring awareness to Alzheimer's in the local area.
Well, that's nice.
We actually have researchers here on campus who are looking into how berries may be able to help the slow progression of brain decline as we age.
Why
and
not
it's
just
great
eat
for
berries? See, they also sell all these fruits and vegetables. So, like, also, too, like, yeah, they could tell us just to eat our fruits and vegetables, but they're going to do that, and they're going to make a drug for you to ingest, too. So you're not only eating his fruits and vegetables, but you're taking his drugs. And then when you are overweight from eating too much fruit, because he said it was healthy and you could just eat all the fruit you want, and then you gain the weight from the fruit or whatever, then you can just take his son's weight loss drugs to lose it all. And we're going to talk about how the connection between the whole weight loss drug thing and the celebrity culture in LA, because it's a lot. They're holding hands, man. They're holding hands.
Scientists actually to see this, because you know we work in our labs and we're often isolated against this kind of thing, but to see people who are showing signs of Alzheimer's and the support that they get really encourages you when you're in the lab to do more interesting work and get work to discovery quicker.
Yeah. Like me hearing about kids suffering and wanting to raise awareness about degenerates. That kind of awareness, man. Like that.
Mr. Murdoch is a very fit and healthy person now, but he wasn't always
he wasn't
so heavily committed to a healthy lifestyle.
Tell us more.
And
he wasn't
he was
always
a young
perfect.
man at some point, and he had a wife who unfortunately died of cancer.
That's right, his wife had cancer.
When she got sick and we found out it was cancer, I thought that I could put a problem into my brain and it's a machine that comes up with an answer. But you can't come up with an answer to cancer.
Yeah. See, that was probably the first
his
time
wife
he was
died
told
of
no,
cancer, and his
or
mother
realized,
died of
no,
cancer as
I
well.
can't make it
So
happen.
those events really made him rethink about diet and health and nutrition.
I want to know everything there is about fruits and vegetables. And we are way ahead of, I think, most any other
Well, it's your business. Of course you want to know everything about fruits and vegetables.
place.
For example,
this?
we can recommend bananas during exercise now. We have scientific proof. We fed cyclists bananas and we measured their blood. and we also fed them sports drinks and measured their blood. And what we wanted to measure was how the body utilized carbohydrates while you were exercising.
And?
The results showed us that the body is able to use banana carbohydrates just as effectively as it uses sports drinks.
Boom. One billionaire punching out another billionaire. This is how they get back at each other, guys. Boom. So, sports drink industry, the soft drink, Coke industry. Think about how much money they make. We got this billionaire over here going, yeah, all you have to do is eat bananas, and they're actually a lot better for you than a sports drink. They'll hydrate you better. Boom. Sports drink sales go down. That's how they get back at each other, is stuff like that. But unless you are, you know, like, you don't actually know. You get what I'm saying?
It's carbohydrates. Nutrition is important, but equally as important is physical exercise. We have various universities here that specifically research that. I understand that physical exercise is very important, so I try to stay fit as best I can. I ride my mountain bike, I go running, and I really try to do this every day. It's very difficult at the beginning, but the more you do of it, the easier it gets.
Wow, he's riding that bike. He's 101, man.
When I'm home, I go do all
Still
kind
climbs
of
the stairs.
exercise. Other people, they gotta have great muscles. I never had great muscles. I tried to have.
What the? Dude is just like, yeah, I walk. See, like, I was never, like, had great, but I walk. See, like, I'm
have
in
a
shape.
great brain.
This is crazy. Like, good for him, man, but...
One of his favorite things
Pineapple, did you see that? The pineapple?
he likes to do when he's here is to actually sit down with the researchers and get them to discuss with him what they're doing, what results they've got.
And then he will take that back to Nick and say, now, how could we study this at Dole?
Yeah. He pays for the research in one place, and then he takes it back and he goes, so, like, how can we use this to make monies? How can we manipulate people into buying our products so we get more monies?
Knowledge is power. I'm always seeking knowledge from other people.
Knowledge is money. Aren't you glad I could translate that for you? That's what he's saying. Knowledge is money.
And even today, at my age, I still am studying new things.
That's actually good.
My job as a scientist working for Dole Food Company is to create information that is useful to the consumer.
What other
and the way we
information
do
you create?
this is to publish our findings. We show the consumer what we're working on and how it can impact their lives. And I think we get a bit of credibility from doing that.
That right there may look a little odd to you, but that's going to fire plant lines and hot
This.
water.
What are you guys building over
Here
here?
in Kannapolis, we are really just at the beginning, the birth of the North Carolina Research Campus. Mr. Murdoch has plans for many other buildings on this site that he's developed, and I'm looking forward to see what Mr. Murdoch dreams of next, and I hope that I can be a part of that.
I'm sure you do.
It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate.
What? I'm gonna have to have the captions on for this, man.
I am the captain of my soul.
What? What?
How charged.
What?
I can be a part of that.
It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Oh, well, hate to break it to you, but when the Grim Reaper comes, when the devil comes to judge you and to tell you the things you've been doing wrong, you will then realize you are not actually the master of your soul, that you are a human being like everybody else, and your money and all your knowledge does not make you better than anybody else. You eating your fruits and veggies and your fish and going to your little market and saying, yeah, everybody else just sitting around, they're not progressing forward like me. That all goes away, man. You're just like us. Okay. This was a great stream. I liked it. I think I might stream later tonight or tomorrow. We're going to take a little breaky from doing this Illuminati conspiracy stuff. So I hope you guys kind of understood where I was going with this today. This Murdoch dude owns real estate and builds homes in Hawaii, California, and North Carolina. I don't know why that worker was wearing his shirt, but his son dated Lana Del Rey, who sung about that tunnel under Ocean Boulevard, which led me to looking into all these other tunnels and looking into Allie Carter's story. And I have questions too about that Malibu house that burned down. What was going on in that house? There was just a mattress in the upstairs. She had that black helicopter, like what kind of house? What was going on in that house? Were there orders in that house? And then also too, it makes sense now her showing that black helicopter like being watched. Well, if you're trying to get away from that world, we've heard how they'll come after people and watch them and stuff who they think are weaker than them. They know people's triggers. They know what triggers them, and so they'll do those things to bother these people, the people who come out and speak against these people and stuff like that. It's kind of what they do. In my past, I sued Walmart because I fell in their store. And during that time, they put 24/7 security, private detective on me. So for 6 months, I had 24/7 private investigator firm following me around, living in front of my house. And the cops even told me there's nothing I can do. If they want to be on the street, because they're a private investigator firm and they know that, it's fine. They're not going to hurt me. So they're allowed to follow me around and do all that stuff and intimidate me. They were trying to get me to drop my case, which I ended up losing my case. Well, that's a whole nother thing. But I know these things are real because I've experienced it in a different way. Now, that stopped after I lost my suit and everything. So, there's that. They do these things to people that if they think these people are going to say something or come out, they'll do things like that. And plus, a lot of these people get off on it too. On, scaring people, following them around, and making them feel like they need to go hide and stuff like that. I wonder why Lana moved out of LA. I'm pretty sure she's not in LA anymore. She's living with her new husband on that crocodile or gator farm or something. I'm going to have to listen to more of her lyrics. And I said, any Lana Del Rey fans out there who know her lore and stuff, I'd love to have a chit chat with, because I'm finding this really interesting, and there's just a lot of clues in her music, and It seems like there's something funny going on, and then the whole drug connection. Like, dude has a pharmaceutical company. Justin Murdoch has a pharmaceutical company. Think about the implications of that. All the things you could do with that. You have access to pharmaceuticals. You have access to your own scientists who can make you off the books certain things that you can use. Do you get what I'm getting at? And that's how dark this shit gets. It gets really dark. We're going to talk about the darkness because it needs to be illuminated. And the more we talk about all this, the more it will come out in the open, and it'll go away, and, you know, we'll be able to, you know, move forward without this degeneracy in the world, because it is really sick. It's sick that all the trauma they're causing, all this, it's just, I can tell there's a lot of people who are just done with it. They're just over it. And so, I know. I'm over it too. I'm sure you are too. It's just, it's crazy. And then you start putting these dots together, or you see something and you're like, is anybody else seeing this? Am I the only one? And then you start talking to people and you're like, I'm not the only one. We've all been seeing it. We just didn't know everybody else was seeing it because, you know, we weren't speaking to each other. So, let me get our last video to close us out today.
So I don't fit in. That's hell.
We're going to listen to Pac to take us out. I think later on I might be back on tonight or tomorrow. We're going to take a break from all this, like I said. And you guys know that I've covered Basically Unfiltered. Hey, guys. Hey, you guys. Hey, soldiers at Basically Unfiltered Pod. What? Decided to give you guys a little break because of everything going on. But I watched your recent podcast. We have some things to talk about when it comes to Temu. I have some things I can explain. If you guys watched my reaction channel, you guys seen the videos I did on this channel, you kind of know about the Temu. So we'll probably be reacting to that tonight or tomorrow or the next day. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And I will be getting together more stuff for us to go over, because we're going to still be talking about this. We need to talk about these powerful people. We need to, you know, we're seeing the Diddy's and the R. Kelly's and the Harvey Weinsteins and the Epsteins, but there are upper people above them. There are upper people. And they're all shading each other and doing things to us that needs to be called out. Especially what they're doing to taking advantage of poor people for money and stuff. So, yeah, we're going to close this out with Pac. I love you guys. I hope you're being safe out there. And I will see you in the next one, guys. Take us out, Pac. Tell us why we do what we do.
So I don't fit in. That's hell. It's hell when you can't be around your peers. All my life I grew up around black people, poor people, but I can't live around poor people now because they'll rob me. And why would they rob me? Because they're starving, because there's no money here. But they're telling me, now that I made a little money, I have to move here. So it's not like no one's ever trying to deal with this section. They're just moving away from it. And we're going to have more stars coming from together, but they're gonna all move this way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all the society is doing is leeching off the ghetto. They use the ghetto for their pain, for their sorrow, for their culture, for their music, for their happiness, for their movies, to talk about boys in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be another I don't want to be 50 years old at a BET We Shall Overcome Achievement Awards. You know what I'm saying? Not me. You know, I want when they see me, they know that every day when I'm breathing, it's for us to go farther. You know, every time I speak, I want the truth to come out. You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. They know what I'm going to say. And even if I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that what we're supposed to do? I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us. We might not be the ones, but let's not be selfish, and because we're not going to change the world, let's not talk about how we should change it. I don't know how to change it, but I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody's going to clean it up.